Yes.
Dave, I think it's a different conference room. This is
Oh,
on the
okay.
8th floor.
Oh,
Yeah.
8th floor. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the Board of Appeal one.
Yep.
Okay, the webinar is open.
Ready to start, Iris? Great. Good morning, everyone. And thank you for joining the Boston Zoning Commission public hearing. The open public meeting law requires that I notify the public that this meeting is being recorded. Please be aware that an audio and visual recording of this meeting is being made. Before we start, I wanted to congratulate our chairman, Michael Nichols, and his wife on the arrival of their son, Finn Alexander Nichols, in the wee hours of Sunday morning. And so congrats to Mike and his wife, and also welcome to one of Boston's new citizens. I'd like to now take a roll call of the members present at the beginning of the meeting. Myself, Jill Hatton, Mr. Marr,
Present.
Mr. Arroyo,
Present.
Ms. Morikawa,
Present.
Mr. Leff,
Present.
Mr. DeMello,
Present.
Mr. Woods. He's on his way in. Mr. McNeil
Present.
and Ms. Miller. Don't see Aisha. We'll announce if she arrives. Thank you, everyone. This is the 9 a.m. public hearing. A public hearing before the Boston Zoning Commission to consider map amendment application number 794 and a petition for approval of the 2025 to 2035 Harvard University Alston Campus Institutional Master Plan. The hearing was duly advertised on March 27, 2025 in the Boston Herald. In a Boston Zoning Commission hearing on proposed petitions, the proponent will first present their case and are subject to questioning by members of the commission only. We are taking support and opposition at the same time. If you are planning to testify, please take time now to verify that your computer microphone is active. If you are on the hybrid link, click the hand icon on your Zoom control panel, and this will signal staff that you would like to speak. When your hand is raised, it will be blue. If you're calling into the meeting and would like to testify, please dial *9 to raise your hand. When I call for all testimony, staff will announce your name and allow you to talk. You must unmute your microphone because your webcam will not be active. In an effort to accommodate all who would like to speak about this proposal, each person will be given up to 2 minutes to comment. Commission staff will indicate when 30 seconds remain. At that time, please conclude your remarks so that the hearing may continue and others may be heard. Finally, the proponents are allowed a period of 5 to 10 minutes for rebuttal if they so desire. At this point, too, I'd like to welcome Mr. Woods.
Good to see you.
And if you can announce that you're present, that would be great.
I am present. Sorry for red line delays.
Thank you, no problem. Thank you, everyone. Will the planning department please begin their presentation?
Thank you, commissioners. The proposal before you is for proposed 10-year institutional master plan for the Harvard University Alston campus. Proposed IMP includes 6 proposed institutional projects, totaling approximately 720,000 square feet of new construction, and approximately 140,000 square feet of renovation. The IMP is accompanied by a significant mitigation and community benefits package, which the Harvard team will touch on in their presentation. There were 6 joint task force and public meetings held by the Boston Planning Department between January 2024 and March 2025, and all were advertised online in local publications and well attended. I'd also like to note that the project, or the IMP, has the support of District Councilor Liz Braden. I'll now turn it over to my colleague Michelle Yee to discuss the planning context considered in the review of this IMP.
Thank you. Thank you, Clint. Good morning, commissioners. My name is Michelle Yee. I'm the planning review team planner assigned to this project. The proposed 2025 to 2035 institutional master planner IMP for the Harvard University Alston campus sits near several ongoing planning initiatives that will shape the surrounding area at different scales. For example, as part of the replacement of the I-90 interchange, the Beacon Park Yards Regional Framework Plan will have a regional impact, while the ongoing Alston Bryan Community Plan will influence. The ongoing Alston Bryan Community Plan will influence the neighborhood level. Additionally, the projects under Article 80 review will bring changes on a local scale. alongside the Harvard Enterprise Research Campus, or ERC district in Greenway. Together, these planning initiatives will guide growth in the neighborhood and the surrounding area, working with the community to establish a shared vision and key priorities. Next slide, please. As mentioned earlier, this area has seen numerous planning initiatives over time. To help visualize that, this map highlights the various planning efforts with the IMP area marked in red. As the campus pursues the 2025 to 2035 IMP, it is important to continue to consider these planning initiatives to ensure alignment and coordination. And thank you, and I'll turn it over to the university team to present the project in more detail.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Mark Handley. On behalf of Harvard University, I want to express we are delighted to be with you. Serious thanks to our PPDA colleagues, to the zoning commission staff for getting us this far. We have a rather brief 10-slide presentation. My colleague, Alexandra Affion, is the Director of Planning Services at Harvard University. She will give a planning and zoning presentation overview of the IMP. I will talk briefly about community benefits associated with the now approved IMP. And we will be welcoming any questions here. So Alexandra will speak next.
Thank you, Mark. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Alexandra Affion. I'm from Harvard University Planning and Design, and delighted to walk you through the Harvard University Austin Campus IMP. But first, if we go to the next slide, I'd like to orient you to this campus. So it's a campus with a very long history. It started with a land gift from poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow in 1870, and the construction of the Harvard Stadium in 1903. Since that time, it's been evolving, and it is now a very dynamic, multifaceted campus. It serves a wide range of programs for our major research institution. And so first and foremost, it's a hub of teaching and learning. It's the home of the Harvard Business School and the Science and Engineering Complex. It's a place of innovation with the Harvard iLab and the Life Lab. Its athletic fields and facilities support more than 40 Division I intercollegiate sports teams. It's a place of arts and culture with the Art Lab and the future home of the American Repertory Theater. And finally, it's a place to live. We have more than 1,700 units of housing for students, faculty, and staff, and more in the pipeline. So just to orient you briefly geographically, the Harvard Austin campus is bounded roughly on 3 sides by Soldiers Field Road and the Charles River. It is bisected by 2 main streets, North Harvard Street and Western Avenue. And you can see the color-coded building footprints show just the range of uses that I just alluded to. And there's about 62 buildings, about 4 million square feet of space. So the IMP has been guided by a number of campus planning principles that align the planning that we do with the university's values and vision, as well as that of the broader neighborhood and city planning context. So these campus planning principles include things like respecting community context, fostering a welcoming campus, enhancing connectivity, strengthening sustainability, and really just being a good steward overall of the campus resources. Next slide. So the Austin IMP, it covered a wide range of planning topics, and it really was, we sought to ensure and demonstrate that Harvard is taking a very comprehensive and integrated approach to campus planning for the life of the 10-year term of the IMP. I'm going to just touch on a few areas here, a few highlights. For open space, for example, there is a very extensive open space network on the Austin campus. So we inventoried and analyzed that open space network. We looked and studied the accessibility and also reported on how we manage our inventory of more than 2,500 campus trees. In terms of mobility, we reported on our transportation programs and infrastructure. We did an impact analysis of our projects. reported on the many recent investments in transportation, including a lot of infrastructure for sustainable transportation for pedestrians, bikes, and shuttles. And we also reported on our very robust commuter choice program, which incentivizes sustainable commutes. In terms of sustainability, we are, if we could just go back to that slide. We are, for sustainability, Harvard University has a sustainability action plan that sets the vision and priorities for how we will holistically address climate equity and health. And so that action plan there are two kind of fundamental goals about the university becoming fossil fuel neutral by 2026 and fossil fuel free by 2050. So we took a lot of time in the IMP to talk about the many efforts that Harvard is doing to address, to achieve those goals, including everything from our the on-site renewable energy there's a lot of solar PV, for example, on the roofs of many Harvard buildings in Austin. We use sustainable building standards for all of our capital projects. And we are in the process of electrifying our shuttle fleet. So, next slide, please. So the 10-year IMP identifies 6 proposed institutional projects, PIPs, that will meet the university's academic, administrative, athletic, and operational needs for the campus. And this includes 4 new buildings and 2 renovations. So the first 3 of the PIPs listed here are ones that were actually in the 2013 IMP. And they were not built, so we have carried them over. The number 1 on that list, Harvard Business School, is envisioning a new faculty and administration office building. This is envisioned as a roughly 110,000 square foot building, 3 stories, and it would fit into the scale and character of the HBS campus area. Number 2 on the map is the Gateway Project. This is located where the campus and Barry's Corner meet. It's proposed as a 300,000 square foot mixed use building. It would have an active ground floor with academic and institutional uses above. And the building itself would be stepping up from 6 stories to 9 stories. And then finally, the third carryover project is a renovation and addition at Harvard Stadium. This is a project that would seek to restore and respect the historic structure, improve the building's accessibility, and add a roughly 46,000 square foot addition in the rear of the building that would help the building bring it up to current standards in terms of athletic needs, visitor needs, press box needs, etc. So there are also 3 newly proposed projects, 2 of which support Harvard athletics. Number 4 on the map is a new tennis and squash racket center. It's approximately 200,000 square feet, and it would provide year-round courts and would replace the existing Barron tennis pavilion. Just next to that, adjacent to that, number 5, is the Mignoni Field Support Building. This is a new building that would support women's rugby. It would be about a 20 to 30,000 square foot facility, and it would also provide athletic and spectator support uses. And finally, number 6 on the project is a Crimson catering operation. It's an approximately 9,500 square foot renovation of the rear portion of the existing building at 168 Western Avenue. This is a building that the front portion has the Swiss Bakers Cafe, and that will remain in place and in operation. Next slide, please. So this is a perspective of the campus from west to Barry's Corner. You can see all of the PIPs highlighted in the red or the dark pink in the context of the existing campus, which the existing buildings are shown in white. So the Gateway project is you can see the most public facing of the PIPs. It's, given its location in the heart of Barry's Corner, and we've studied the urban design relationship of this future building to its context to ensure that it will add to a vibrant public realm, especially given it's adjacent to Open Space Grove and it's right across the street from the future home of the American Repertory Theater. So those details will be further studied when the project design commences formally. And the other three new buildings, the two in athletics and the one at Harvard Business School, those are all located a bit more interior to the campus, at more of a distance from public streets. But we will be carefully designing those to support the pedestrian network within the campus, as well as just the overall campus system. Great work. So the IMP also proposes 3 minor map amendments. Number 1 on the map is the addition of the site at 168 Western Avenue, which is the site of the Cryptid Catering operations. Number 2 on the map is an adjustment of the boundary surrounding the district's energy facility, and this will allow it to better align with the adjacent streets and to accommodate some necessary equipment that will support the facility. And finally, number 3 is the redesignation of some portions of the greenway that are currently in the IMP to move them out of the IMP area. So all told, these 3 minor adjustments would result in a net 2.5 acre reduction of the IMP area. And it would result in the IMP overlay to be approximately 152 acres. So that concludes the summary of the IMP, and I will hand it now to Mark Handley to talk about community benefits.
Thanks, Alexandra. We could go to the next slide. So we have just a couple brief slides on benefits. And Harvard, in considering our benefit approach, I wanted to express briefly what we did over 10 years ago now with the approval of Harvard's 2014 institutional cooperation agreement. Harvard maintains and operates significant benefits targeted at Allston Brighton residents. Not just programming and partnerships, but also programs to administer upgrades to the public. Our benefit approach that we forged ahead on now over 10 years ago connected benefits to our IMP term more so than to our individual projects that were contained in the IMP. And our rationale there is to avoid pressure on projects to come out and deliver benefits to residents. And instead, it underlies our ability to operate continuously our benefits approach, not having to wait for one or another project to come out of planning and into proposal. Our approach, especially embedded at the Harvard Ed Portal, has been extremely successful over the past decade. And the core of our benefit proposal for this IMP now is to continue for another 10 years, programming the partnerships and all of the amenities that are offered for free to Allston Brighton residents at the Harvard Ed Portal. We also endeavor to keep it flexible so that the benefits we agree to when the IMP is approved are able to evolve with the needs of our residents. So moving in, of course, we report in. So that's another core part of our relationship with the city planning department and with the community is an annual expression of all of our cooperation agreements and how we're tracking and categorizing those benefits. So moving on to the actual benefits that are associated with the 2024 IMP on the next slide. Harvard was able to agree to significant benefits to support the new IMP. I talked already about the Harvard Ed. So keeping all of our program areas, all of our partnerships going at the Harvard Ed. That's the core of our benefits. In addition to that, benefits that hit housing and homeownership, especially in the Allston Brighton neighborhood, we are continuing to fund the Albright homeownership program. Not to mention the linkage that is individual to our various projects, both on the housing side and on the job side. our significant partnerships with local nonprofits, including our Harvard Alston Partnership Fund, which we're now funded. We funded for the 17th year. We'll have a great event in May. In continuing investments in public civic space, especially to encourage civic groups and in-person activities continuing to come back into popularity. And of course, our operation and funding and maintenance of beautiful, significant open space that connects the campus to the community. So that's just a partial overview of the benefits that were tied at the hip with the IMP as it was approved by the BPA board just under a month ago. That's our last slide. We thank you for your time. We appreciate all the work that has gone into this process, especially from Quinn and the entire PPA planning department team, not to mention the zoning commission team. So thank you all. Thank our internal team, and thanks to you.
Thank you very much. At this point, do any of the commissioners have any questions or comments that they'd like to?
Hi, thank you. All-white housing program, is that specifically just for Austin White residents?
Hi, Commissioner Miller. So it is not specifically for Austin Brighton residents, but it is specifically for Austin Brighton houses. So this all-white homeownership program is funded by Harvard. It is operated by the Austin Brighton CDC, and program works by opening up a significant line of credit from the CDC. They purchase houses, usually that are perpetual rental style houses in Austin and Brighton, in the specific area around the Harvard campus. They fix up the houses, and importantly, they put a deed restriction on the house that requires each unit to be perpetually owner occupied. They then market the house to anybody who wants to buy it, not just Austin Brighton people, but they've got about every home buyer in Austin Brighton on their list. And they sell the house now with a deed restriction that requires owner occupancy. So over the about 7 years that the program has run, 25 units of housing, all in the North Austin Brighton neighborhood, nearby Harvard's campus, north of the Pike, have been converted from, in almost every case, perpetual rundown rental to permanent homeownership, where we see an incredible facelift. You know, we have 2 and 3 houses on many streets in Austin Brighton now, and these houses are now beautiful, have homeowners, families that are living there. It's been super successful. It's just one program that Harvard helps out with to encourage affordability and homeownership. But it works. It's very popular. So we're funding it to last hopefully another 10 years. Thank you.
Anyone else here? And then I'll go online. Anyone on the hybrid commissioners, any questions? Okay, thank you. Thank you for your presentation. At this point, I would like to call for public testimony. Once you have indicated you would like to testify and you've been called on by BPA staff, can you please announce your name, affiliation, and your position either for or in opposition to the proposed project? Jeff, do you have anyone online?
No one online, Madam Chair.
I see no one in the room, so I'm assuming that that is good. Thank you very much. At this point, I will conclude the public hearing and we'll go into our business session. Do any of the commissioners want to raise any points, comments, or making motions?
I'll make a motion. Make a motion that we approve map amendment applications number 794, 2025-2035 Harvard University Alston Campus Institutional Master Plan, map 7A, 7B, 7C, 7D, Alston Brighton Neighborhood District map 7B, 7D, Alston Brighton Neighborhood District.
Second,
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you, David. I'll now take a roll call vote of each member. Mr. Marr,
yes.
Mr. Arroyo,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Ms. Morikawa,
Yes.
Mr. Leff,
Yes.
Mr. DeMello,
Yes.
Mr. Woods,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
and myself, Jill Hacken, yes. The motion passes unanimously, and that concludes our hearing. Thank you, everyone, for attending, and congratulations. Good luck on your next 10 years. activity at the campus. Jeff, is there anything else for the commission before we formally adjourn?
There is not. Nope.
Well, thank you, everyone. I think it worked out great. I'd like to just thank Cyrus and Jeff and everyone at the staff for pulling this off. I think it worked really well, so we appreciate it. It's been fun. Hopefully, we'll see the rest of you all in person soon too. Although I think our next meeting is remote, Jeff, correct?
It will be, yes.
Thank you. All right, that concludes our hearing. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Good job, Jill.
Yeah.